Hey, so I had an epiphany yesterday, and I was thinking I've been wasting a lot of time putting on negative comments, writing negative comments on social media. I mean, I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those people that likes to be a troll online. But I tell you what, I can't resist. Whenever I see a post on, like a politician that I don't like, and I mean, take your pick. We have so many here in Melbourne. It's not funny, and I don't know. I guess I get really passionate about it, and I just keep on writing and writing and writing to the point where I got this whole essay, and then I stand back and I look at the time and I'm like, man, I just wasted half an hour of my time writing this long spiel that a lot of people are not going to read. Like, I mean, what's going to happen with that comment? So, yeah, I was thinking about it. I actually started thinking about it from last week, but I did nothing about it. But, yesterday I just thought, that's it. I'm wasting my time. I need to redirect that time. I got to put that time elsewhere. Where else can I utilize that time really well? Can I read more? Can I maybe devote it to writing more, or speak to somebody that's important to me more? Surely there's something more important than sitting there writing some negative comment on social media. Just so much time is wasted on social media as a whole, by many of us. I for the last year or so, I've been trying really hard not to consume social media all that much, and I've been trying to contribute more to social media as opposed to consuming it. I've been trying to just be creative in general, doing videos such as this, creating like short reels, making thumbnails, just stuff like that, making some music in that too. I would rather do that. I would rather do all those things. Man, it's getting hot in here. This car gets warm really quick. Yeah, I would rather do all these things than just sit there doom scrolling, you know what I mean? Like, it drives me nuts when you go to restaurants, for example. You go to a restaurant and you see a young couple sitting across from each other, and they're not exchanging words, they're not saying anything, but they're just scrolling. It's like, you can do that at home. But anyway, it's none of my business. Hang on, let me change lanes. But I'll tell you what is my business. What is my business is what I do, and I guess I really feel like I need to make a change. So I'm definitely gonna make that change. The hardest part is the first couple of days or the first week. So that is definitely the hardest part. After that, it's on easy street. Just a matter of finding other stuff to do in the meantime. Oh, she is busy. Holy moly. Similar to when you're trying to quit smoking. As an ex-smoker, I know what that's like. So trying to make the transition from smoking to non-smoking, and I'm pretty happy and proud that I didn't end up using nicotine patches about 10 years ago when I quit. I just said to myself, you know what, I'm just going to try just quitting, and if I really want one, then I'll have one. And every time I really did feel like one, I did end up having one, until slowly the craves ended up going away. But the hardest part about quitting smoking was the whole association thing. Like, you know, for example, when you get in the car, that was my first go-to. Getting in the car, having a smoke, first thing, especially after work, after a long stressful day. How good was that? I sort of miss the feeling, but I can taste how awful the cigarette would taste if I was to take a puff, if that makes sense. But yeah, to be honest, I didn't find it too hard. But then again, I did make the transition to rollies. So I went from tailor-made cigarettes to started rolling my own cigarettes. And then I sort of got sick and tired of that, and then I just sort of stopped. The other association, smoking-wise, was having a drink. Man, I used to hang for a cigarette for so long after having a couple of beers or having a couple of whiskeys or something like that. After dinner too. I did make it a habit for a long time to have a cigarette after dinner or after lunch, as most of us tend to. But anyway, so that's going to be hard for me to sort of it's going to be hard for me to resist the urge not to write something negative about like a politician, for example. I guess whenever I think of myself writing anything negative, any negative comments, that's pretty much the only direction that I would sort of, lean towards, like the politicians. I don't really have any reason to write negative comments towards anybody else. But either way, I really feel like it is a waste of time. I feel like it's a waste of my time, and not just that, like, not just time, it's a waste of my energy. I feel like a lot of my energy is gone towards something so negative, and then by the time I've written it, this long essay of how I really feel, it's like, all right, I'm sort of tired a little bit now, and then I feel negative after I've done that, because my mindset has been negative. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in a negative mindset, so it's really hard to come out of that negative mindset. It's one of those things where if you're used to being in a certain mindset. Like, I know this guy that I work with. I've been working with him for, I don't know, maybe about 5 years now. And word around is that he's been working there for about 20 years, and he's always been a whinger. All he's done is, talk about how bad things are, and, another day, another 50 cents, and blah, blah, blah. And everything that comes out of his mouth is negative. And I guess, I don't want to place judgment, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't want to be like that. And my observation, for someone that is like that, and I used to be like that a while back, and I've been trying really hard to catch myself. So then as soon as I realize and I am aware that I'm like that, I have to just stop and say, whoa, okay, I don't want to be negative anymore. I got to change my mindset. And what I've been finding since I've been doing that is it's been a lot easier for me to get into a positive mindset. The more and more you catch yourself doing it, the more and more you become the observer of your thoughts. I know it sounds profound in a way. Then you are not your thoughts. Doesn't make sense, but in my head it does. But anyway, so I think I read that in a book. There's a book called Harmonic Wealth, and so he does mention that a lot. He says that in order for you to not get stuck in your thoughts, especially negative thoughts, or thoughts that you don't want in your mind, in order to go in a positive direction, then become the observer of your thoughts, because that is his aim, what I said before. So if you become the observer of something, then you are not that thing. So yeah, anyway, getting off track. But anyway, so I don't want to, the main point here is that I don't want to be negative. I don't want to train my mind to think in a negative way. And what I've been noticing is that, oh man, this thing's still blasting. What I've been noticing is that it's been easy for me to get into a negative mindset, into a negative train of thought, once I start writing, you know what I mean? And I start making a negative comment. And then my mind is in that mindset, that negative mindset. So, oy, jeez, Louise. Ooh, anyway, so I just thought I'd get my point across. I'm definitely going to be making changes, and I'm doing that as of today. So keep me in check, and I'll be talking more about it. Anyway, getting close to home, so I'll catch you on the next one. Adios.